Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us today, and welcome to the DLC. In this session, we're going to be going and focusing on families in our K-9 range. My name is Ryan Johnson, and I'm the principal here at the SunWest Distance Learning Center. Today, we are going to be going and talking with a number of our staff, and they're going to be helping you get your questions answered, give us some information about what we are, basically how we run this building and how we're here to help you. So that being said, we're going to start off with probably a voice you've maybe heard if you've ever phoned into the DLC. Our first speaker is named Carol Lewis. She is our front office staff administrator, and she is here to welcome you to the DLC. Carol Lewis.
Hi, Ryan. It's so nice to be back again for another school year.
Hi, Carol. How have you been in terms of getting questions asked regarding what is the SunWest Distance Learning Center? Is it like a regular school, or how is it different?
Well, in a lot of ways, we're exactly the same as a regular school. We do get an awful lot of questions about that because it's new to people. So as in the similarities, we are a regular Saskatchewan school, just like anyone in any of the communities across Saskatchewan. We base all of our courses based on the outcomes that the Ministry of Education sets out for us. And the courses that we have are curriculum based. When you complete a grade with us, you move on to the next grade exactly like you would anywhere else. We do have a school building, although it looks a little different. It seems more like an office building, but we do have a school building, and we're located in Kenaston. Now, Kenaston isn't very big, but we're about 40 minutes south of Saskatoon on Highway 11, between Saskatoon and Regina. All of our courses are taught by Saskatchewan teachers, and they do come to this building every day, which is really an important thing for us. And these teachers develop courses, gather learning resources, answer questions, and help students through any problems or difficulties that they might be having. And yes, they do assessments and mark assignments as well.
So, Carol, what would be a difference then between the DLC and what we call a brick and mortar school?
Okay, well, I think the biggest difference is that instead of meeting in a classroom at the same time and space as most students do in a regular school, our students are often able to pick the time and the space that works best for them. Often, that's very similar to what a school day would look like, where they work from 9 till 3:30. But there's also students that work better early in the morning or late in the evening, and they can do that too. We also are able to offer flexibility for students and families that are leaving the country, for example, and we can make sure that we can cover the curriculum and they have the flexibility to go on with their lives or things like that as well. The other big difference is that instead of raising your hand or staying after class to ask questions, students usually reach out to the teachers by email, by phone, or video call. Our courses are available 24/7, so students can work at any time, but of course teachers are available during the school day.
I know in your role, a big part of it is registrations. Could you tell us a little bit about how the registration process works, Carol?
Absolutely. It is a big part of what I do every day. And registering students is the most important thing that we do. Now, you'll notice some things. Many of you have already registered and you've already provided all the information that we needed. We always ask for some documentation. And that documentation is important because we don't see you as every day in our classrooms. So we need to prove to the Ministry of Education that our students all live in Saskatchewan. That's why we ask you for birth certificates and health cards, driver's licenses, and telephone bills, so that we know that, or we can prove to the ministry at any time that all of our students live in Saskatchewan. Now, registration with us happens a little bit differently because we can take students throughout the year. All of our registrations need to be in at the 1st of September. Once you've decided that you might want to sign up with us, it is an online registration. You gather up those documents, you have a picture of those documents on your computer. And then the other thing that's really important for us is that every student must have a unique email address. Without that, it really doesn't work very well in our system. So mom and dad can have an email address, but it's important that the students have one as well. Once you're all ready with the documents and the email addresses, then you go to dlcapply.ca. That's our registration site. Fill in the application form, and we get you all set up to go. In K-9, of course, we send out boxes, so that triggers that process as well.
Well, thank you so much, Carol. And I'm assuming if anyone has any questions or concerns, the phone number to get a hold of you at the DLC is
306-252-1000 or 252-1000, and we'd be more than happy to answer questions for you.
Thank you so much, Carol. You are a lot of help. Next up, I'd like to welcome Melanie Kerpan, who is one of our vice principals here at the Distance Learning Center. Thank you so much for joining us, Melanie.
Thanks, Ryan. I'm really glad to be here. I've been teaching in Keniston for many years, over 40 years, and I've been teaching here at the DLC since it started serving our students from K-9 about 11 years ago. It's been really exciting and a challenging experience at the DLC. I've taught all grades and all subjects, and this year I am part of the K-9 team as a vice principal for the K-6, along with Kathy Grad, who is the vice principal for 7 to 9.
Thanks for sharing that, Mel. Let's kick off some discussion. So could you tell us, for families who are joining us today, where do they start and where do they go?
Well, to start, you're going to log in to DLC Go. You can think of DLC Go as your classroom. When you're ready to start class, you open up your web browser and go to www.dlcgo.ca. And then you'll enter your username and password, and these would have come to you in your first email from the DLC. So when you log on to that DLC Go, you'll see your dashboard where your subjects are available to click on. So K-6 students should see the usual 7 academic subjects there: ELA, math, social science, health, phys ed, and art, along with the DLC orientation course. You're expected to do work in all subjects. The subjects, they won't all take the same amount of time though, and sometimes an activity can involve more than one subject and they can overlap. We suggest starting with your courses the way they're laid out, but when you feel comfortable and familiar with that, then you can talk to your teacher about how to change it. That's your voice and choice here. And the middle years, they have one extra subject, grade 7 to 9, have PAA as well. That's a pretty exciting course for a lot of the kids, because they get to dabble and decide what they're going to do then from grade 10, 11, and 12.
So the student can log on and see their courses, but how do they know who their teacher is?
Well, along with that login information, that first email mentions that you should soon be contacted by your child's teacher. So when our teachers receive a registration, they'll send out a welcome email to your child. And in this, they'll introduce themselves and give you a little bit of information about how to get started. Many of you probably have already received that welcome email and even received a phone call from your teacher, because that's our priority these first days. We try and reach out as soon as we can.
That sounds great, Mel. What about resources? I've heard a lot of talk about the box, if you will.
Right, and Carol mentioned the box being triggered, right, by the registration. So that's right. We provide all the resources that you'll need. The welcome email will likely include a video about unpacking the box and how to do that. Many families have likely received the materials already, but if not, you should receive them shortly. And it's just like Christmas. It's very exciting, as you can see by these young'uns here. But it can also be very overwhelming. So watch the video, it'll help with this feeling, and keep in mind that these materials are for your whole year. There's lesson plan booklets, which is what you'll refer to for your directions, and handouts and assignment booklets that will be referred to in those lessons, along with some textbooks if they're needed there. So it's assumed you're going to have all the common materials like pencils and rulers and that kind of thing. But for art, we've included one medium for each grade. We try to choose a suitable one, but then we've tailored some of the activities to that medium as well.
With all of these materials in the box, when do you go online then?
Well, for K-6 students, we provide the print version of the lesson plans, the handouts, and the assessments. These are also linked online, but we have found that a lot of parents don't want their young ones to be having a lot of screen time during the day. So for K-6, you'll use your lesson plan booklet as the guide, and it will refer to the videos and so on that you'll go online to see them. So most families from K-6 go online for the videos and of course to submit assignments if they choose that way. Now the middle years, it's meant to be a transition for students to high school. So they have moved to more online content and online texts, and the teachers will help you with accessing those.
So once the families receive the welcome email and watch the videos, what do they do next?
Well, to get started, we've enrolled all of our students in a DLC orientation course. So start there. We created this course to answer many of the questions and concerns that we receive from our families. So in the course, you're asked to complete 7 tasks that will help the students learn and practice skills that are needed to be successful in their courses. Skills such as taking a quiz, creating and submitting the assignments through both PDFs and video recordings.
Well, that sounds like a very helpful way to get started. What kind of time commitment are families looking at to expect for this orientation course?
Oh, it shouldn't take too long, 2-3 hours maybe, depending on the detail you put into the tasks and maybe the number of students in the family. But you're very right, it is very valuable both to the family and to the teachers.
And who should be involved in taking that course?
Well, we ask that the adult who will be the learning mentor, they should go through this course with their students because there's information there for the mentor on their role and responsibilities. And then the orientation will also walk you through how the courses are set up. It'll talk about the importance of your learning environment and how that environment might be different for different students and in different activities. The parents are always asking us also about how to schedule your learning. So the course gives you examples of how to plan your day, your week, your year, and then it asks you as one of the tasks to create the schedule that will work for you and your family and your situation. So by completing all those tasks, your introductory email, the reading and writing samples, your teacher can learn a little bit about you as a student and as a family as well, and help you to get going, keep going, and reach your learning goals.
So with that being said, what's one of the most important things that families should need to know here?
The most important thing we emphasize in the DLC is communication with your teacher. We are flexible, and although we have set out expectations and assignments, etc., for you to hand in, we can adjust that and adapt where needed. Just give your teacher a call, get to know them, and we want to know our students and our families.
You mentioned assignments, Melanie. How often you need to submit work, and are there due dates for these assignments?
Well, again, for K-6, we have some suggested timelines, but not really specific due dates. In grades 7 to 9, there's more content again, and they're transitioning to the high school. So they have more guidance in the timelines and in order for the students to get complete successfully. But the bottom line is just regular communication and submission of assignments. That's the key. The goal would be to make a submission and communication once a week. Don't stockpile those assignments. Submit your assignments when they get done. And that way you can use the feedback that the teacher is giving you to learn to do better on your next assignments.
Is there anything else that families need to know to get started here at the DLC?
Well, just know that you can connect with us in any way, emails, phone calls, and we really love the face-to-face chats or the lessons through video conferencing. And we're always looking for new ways to connect with our families because communication and connection is the key to our success here in learning. We care about our students and we want to get to know you. It takes some time to create your learning rhythm, but give yourself that time and don't feel that you're alone ever. We're here, and there's even other families here that would share their experiences with you as well.
Thank you so much, Mel. It was great to see into the course. So just to recap, students will be able to access their course by logging into DLC Go. They can expect to receive a welcome email from the teachers, a phone call from their teachers, and is that right? Am I leaving anything out?
Yeah, I think that's good. You're right there. The distance education is a great way to learn for some people, for sure. And there's the opportunity to learn in every situation, in your daily life, in the kitchen, watching movies, in the backyard, shopping and on field trips, and so on. So just enjoy your year, use those adventures, talk to your teacher, and have a wonderful year.
Thank you so much, Melanie. In the meantime, I would like to point out one last resource for you as well. If you go to www.dlcandme.ca, you can also find more resources for students and families. This is kind of like a school bulletin board on this website. So you'll find some information like we saw today, a video of unpacking the box, as well as other information like a general supply list to help you get started. So speaking of fun, because I know DLC and Me is a fun website, we like to incorporate fun in unique ways into our learning. So I'd like to introduce Miss Stephanie Ives, who is here to tell us about some fun things that can happen at the DLC and how you can tie those opportunities to your learning outcome. Hi, Steph.
Hi, Ryan. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Let's dive right in. What are some of the unique learning opportunities for our students to get involved with here at the DLC?
We have lots of fun opportunities throughout the year. So there's probably something for everyone. We've done virtual read aloud stories, both as a standalone event for a special day or as part of a series. We've done in-person field trips in the past, which have included the Saskatoon Forestry Farm and Zoo, the Saskatchewan Legislature, the Saskatchewan Science Centre and IMAX. Learning camps are another in-person opportunity where we've been able to come together with peers for some hands-on learning, doing things like STEM challenges, drama games, bowling. When we can't physically go somewhere, we can sometimes travel virtually, especially this last year. So past virtual field trips have included the Calgary Zoo, an egg farm, ancient instrument making. We also ran some online clubs last year for middle year students, including a Tinker Coding Club, Creative Writing Club, and Book Club. And sometimes we are also able to have opportunities to invite families to come here to Keniston to the DLC for events like Fun in the Sun or Expert Fair. And last year we were able to hold a virtual heritage fair too.
Oh, that sounds awesome, Stephanie. Now, I know there are ways to connect these experiences to learning outcomes. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So most of these opportunities can connect to the outcomes you're working on in your classes. So participating in these activities can be part of your schoolwork in addition to being fun. So for example, a trip to the zoo might connect to learning about food webs and ecosystems. Participating in book club could be part of learning in ELA. And when we have these events, we'll send out some opportunities to connect to your outcomes.
Fantastic. Thanks, Stephanie. I know that we have the first of many virtual field trips coming up. What can we look forward to, and where can our families stay up to date on what's happening here at the DLC?
Our first fun event of this school year is coming up next Tuesday on September 14th at 10:30 a.m. And we're going to be exploring the world of rural first responders and firefighters. So we hope everyone can join us. You can always stay up to date on upcoming opportunities and events at dlcandme.ca and on our social media accounts. We're really looking forward to a fun year.
Sounds like some great stuff for everyone to look forward to. Thanks for chatting with us today, Stephanie.
Thank you.
I know we've gone through a lot of information already, but I would also like to be aware of our amazing support systems that we have here to help you with your learning journey. We're happy to have Mrs. Kristin Boyd here today, so welcome, Kristin.
Thanks, Ryan. Happy to be here and share some great information with everyone.
Well, let's get right to it, Kristin. Can you tell us about some learning support here at the DLC?
Yeah, sure. I'd love to. So here at the Distance Learning Center, we have 4 student support teachers who offer a variety of programs for students from our youngest in kindergarten all the way up to the grade 12s. And these programs look different depending on the needs of our students, but they can include reading intervention, writing supports, math intervention, as well as programs that help students that need help with self-regulation or executive functioning skills, organization, time management, and goal setting. And the way it looks when we meet with students is it kind of works in 2 ways. There's opportunities where students can work one-on-one with a student support teacher, but we're also really excited about opportunities where students working together on similar goals can work together in a small group, much like in a face-to-face school with their student support teacher as well. And the other support that we offer to families is connecting them with community resources in their area. So again, just furthering the support base of where they can draw resources from.
And what is the best ways for families to reach out and utilize these supports when they're needed?
Yeah, that's a great question, Ryan. So the way it works here at the Distance Learning Center is if a parent or a family member or guardian had a concern, they would then approach the classroom teacher of their son or daughter, and then the teacher would then dialogue with the student support teacher. And that is how the communication would go. And then we would reach out to the family once we received word from the classroom teacher.
Oh, that sounds great. What about families who are not only looking for academic support, but families that may also be looking for support with mental wellness? Do we have someone here who can help with that?
We sure do. And this is a special person in our building too. We have Mrs. Sue Mills, who is our school counselor. And so she is able to meet with students who may need some support or strategies with their mental wellness or help with anxiety. So she's another available support that we have.
Well, thank you so much, Kristin. I appreciate all your help here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ryan.
As an online school, technology is very critical, obviously, to the DLC. Our help desk team here helps keep all of our tech up and running as best it can. Jessica Foster leads our help desk team, and she's here today to tell us a little bit more about what her team does and how we support families.
Hi, thanks, Ryan. Yeah, so we have a great team here at the Help Desk. So if you've emailed or you've had questions about registration or how to get into your class, you've probably already talked to one of our team members. So we help with kind of your getting started, right? How to log in, how to get to your classes, how to register, even where your boxes might be if they're still in shipment. So the other thing that we also have is we have a tutorial help desk. So if you're new to online learning and you need to build up your skills, we've got a whole help desk there on, how to scan documents and how to get a hold of your teachers, how to book appointments. So we're here to kind of back you up on the tech side.
And so what if I've looked through all these tutorials and I'm still not quite sure and I have some questions? What do I do then?
So you just give us an email. So we're DLC Help. There's a whole team of us. Ask us your questions. If you're not sure where to go, we can either help you or we'll redirect you and we'll find the right person that can help you out.
Thank you so much, Jessica. We appreciate all your work here at the DLC. We're wrapping up here close, and we're looking at if there's any questions that have come across on the live feed here. If anyone has any questions, you can definitely enter them into the comment section, and we'll do our best to answer them now. Okay, it doesn't look like we have any questions. I guess we were pretty thorough. With that being said, I just want to thank you for joining our welcome session, and we appreciate all of our students and families that are here. For anyone that has any kids in high school, we're going to be hosting another orientation session tomorrow, Thursday, September 9th at 2 o'clock. Just like today's session, tomorrow will also be recorded. So if you want to join us then, that would be great. Again, please visit dlcandme.ca for more information on your classes, and go to dlcgo.ca to access all of your courses. Thank you, everybody, and we wish you a most wonderful school year. Thank you.